At number 5, I have the Orlando Magic. Dwight Howard started off the season being an offensive guru after he worked out with Akeem Olajuwon. But unfortunately, every time he scores 33-plus points, they lose. And, they started the season kind of slow, but they made the big trade, obviously. And since that trade, Hedo Turkoglu looked like he hasn't missed a beat. Gilbert Arenas is trying to find his way. Jason Richardson's been playing well. Jameer Nelson has still been playing well. He might not be a starter anymore. I don't know yet. That's the rumor going around now. But Dwight Howard obviously is the centerpiece. He's probably going to be the defensive player of the year again. He started off slow, but he'll definitely probably get it. But I don't like the outside-in strategy. They've been going away from that a little bit more with pick and rolls and stuff like that. And like I said, Dwight Howard's been playing more on the post and getting the ball. But sometimes there's still games that he doesn't get the ball enough with his touches. So I think they're going to be a really good team. But they have to win a championship. And I don't know if this trade in the middle of the season is going to give them enough time to gel together and make a really good playoff run. I think they're really going to be good next year with a training camp under their belt. But if they make it to the finals, it wouldn't be a big shocker, but I would be a little bit surprised. And if they didn't win the championship, I think it would be a bit of an upset. But the Magic are definitely a championship contending team. They're going to be a fun team to watch, and hopefully they'll finish the season off strong. And I'm interested to see what they do in the playoffs. At number 4, I have the Miami Heat. Now, a lot of people are going to give me grief for putting the Lakers over the Heat, but I think the Lakers are better than the Heat right now. And I'm going to tell you guys why. I think the Miami Heat are a very good team. They're very good defensively. I know what the Miami Heat did on Christmas Day, to the Lakers, but Christmas Day games don't mean anything in May and June. And I want you guys to understand that. The regular season is for a few things. It's to sell tickets, to entertain, get playoff seedings, get you ready for the playoffs, use tape to see what teams are doing this, that, and the third, and get playoff seedings. The regular season games, a lot of people say they don't mean nothing. I'm not going to say they don't mean anything. But when the playoffs start, everybody starts all over. That Christmas game will not mean anything if the Miami Heat and the Lakers play in the finals. And the Miami Heat, with the big 3, I call them the big 2.5 because Chris Bosh is not a superstar, folks. Chris Bosh is a star. He's not a superstar, and there's a difference. LeBron James and Dwayne Wade are A-plus players. And LeBron James right now, to me, is the MVP. I mean, in the first half. Not only what he's doing with the Miami Heat, but what the Cleveland Cavaliers are not doing since he's been gone. He's showing his value. And he's been showing his value on the Miami Heat. He is the best player in the NBA, folks. Whether we like it or not, he is. LeBron James is definitely the MVP. We've never seen a player like this. His points are starting to go up. His rebound and assists are going up. He's getting comfortable. Obviously, he's gotten injured. They've been losing some games, but they'll get back to it. They're going to learn from that loss they took in Miami to Atlanta. They're playing really, really well on the road and at home. After that 9-8 start, they've been playing really, really well. But I just don't think this is why I got them at number 4. These next 3 teams, I just don't think they're better than them. They're missing 3 big things. And I've said this since the beginning. They don't have a point guard, they don't have a center, and they don't have a bench. And they're going to win a lot of regular season games. I've said this before. They'll probably get the most wins in the NBA in the regular season. But when the playoffs start and it's time to slow everything down, I just do not see them beating the Boston Celtics. And if they do happen to get past the Boston Celtics, I don't see them beating the Lakers or the Spurs. I really don't. But the Miami Heat, definitely the most fun team to watch, the most talked about team in the NBA. So we'll see what happens with the Miami Heat, and hopefully everybody's going to be fully healthy. Chris Bosh is down right now. LeBron James is about 85%. Dwayne Wade's having some problems, so we'll see what happens with them and see if they can kick it up in the second half. Number 3, I have the world champion Los Angeles Lakers. They had their struggles. It's well documented on what they went through, but everybody goes through that, okay? And at the end of the day, the LA Lakers will be there, but right now, these 2 teams, the Celtics and the Spurs, I have them better than the Lakers right now, is closer to winning a championship. The Lakers, and I'll reevaluate them in the second half when I do my power rankings in the second half. But the LA Lakers are playing Hollywood ball right now. They look disinterested sometimes, unengaged. Kobe Bryant is yelling at his teammates a lot. Sometimes he goes back to the Shobi, Kobe, or the Comey, where he's just trying to take over the game by himself. And Kobe Bryant, in my opinion, if they win the championship this year, he cannot be the Finals MVP. And I'm gonna tell you why. Kobe Bryant is a great player, but he's not the same player he was in his early days. He's more of a jump shooter. He doesn't have the same quickness and explosiveness. His footwork is impeccable. He's still a top 3 player in this league right now, as of this recording. He is. But in order for them to win championships, they're going to have to give the ball more to Pau Gasol. They have to. Bynum is going to have to play a bigger role on offense and defense. He has to be a presence. But with that length of the Lakers, you have to utilize that. As great as Kobe Bryant is, they're not going to win the championship going through Kobe. Now, Kobe Bryant can pretty much coast through the game and play some defense and stuff like that and, take some shots at the end of the shot clock and be the closer at the end of the game. But for him to try to carry the team through all 4 quarters in a championship run, it's not going to happen. He needs to conserve himself more and leave what he's got in the tank late game situations, and I think they'll be able to win the championship. So I'm interested to see how the Lakers finish up. But right now I have them 3, but we'll see what happens in the second half of the season. At number 2, I have the Boston Celtics. Doc Rivers is the coach of the year to me, hands down. I mean, he's working with a lot of old players. It's like he's in a retirement home or something. A lot of Ben Gay in that locker room. As I record this, they're playing outstanding ball at home. They're well above 500 on the road. They've had a lot of injuries, folks. Kendrick Perkins has not played this year. And he's the anchor for their defense, him and Kevin Garnett. And he hasn't played one single game. If he played, I believe they'd be the best team in the NBA right now. But Delonte West has gotten hurt. Jermaine O'Neal has been out a little bit. But obviously, with Rondo playing the way he's been playing, Garnett's back now. Ray Allen and Paul Pierce pretty much holding down the ship. Shaquille O'Neal, a couple games I've seen him step into the hot tub time machine. Big Baby Davis, Kendrick Perkins, and Jermaine O'Neal spot very, very well. Nate Robinson is not just a scorer anymore. He's actually playing some really good minutes as the backup point guard. And, Boston Celtics, this team, folks, they're going to the finals, until I see something different. The greatest thing about this team and Doc Rivers is they know what the regular season is, and they get through it, And for them to have players sit down on back-to-back games and, minimize their minutes and doing the things that they're doing, and at their age, and to be having the best record in the East, second best record in the NBA, it's incredible without their starting center. So when they're fully healthy, 100%, don't be surprised, folks, if they win the championship this year, because I'm not going to be. So we'll see what happens, though. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens in the finals, because that's where they're going, to the NBA Finals. At number 1, to nobody's surprise, I have the San Antonio Spurs. Groundhog Day, Tim Duncan. He's not the same player, obviously, that he was. He's not going to go to the All-Star game this year. He's not an All-Star. He may go, but he's definitely not an All-Star caliber player anymore as far as his numbers are concerned. But he's an all-star player when it comes to his leadership, his positioning, and what he does for his team. You can't judge Tim Duncan anymore by his numbers. You can't just look at the box score and say, oh, he's got this many rebounds. No, he does so many intangible things. It's incredible. And Tim Duncan, to me, is the greatest power forward of all time. Manu Ginobili right now, though, is the MVP of that team. Tony Parker has been playing great. DeJuan Blair, under the tutelage of McDyess and Tim Duncan, is having a pretty good sophomore season. Greg Popovich, just like Doc Rivers, is a great team manager. He's been doing this for years, just like Doc Rivers is doing this year, managing the regular season, because they know what the regular season is about. And at the end of the day, if the Lakers don't get their stuff together at the end of this, in the second half of the season and during the playoffs, you might be looking at a Spurs-Boston Celtics finals. And, it wouldn't surprise me if the Spurs would beat the Lakers, but I don't know yet. It's going to be tough to see, to dethrone the Lakers. That's going to be it's going to be a thing to see. But as it looks right now, if the Lakers don't turn it up in the second half, the Spurs will have home court advantage, and that's going to be big in the playoffs because the Spurs right now are 23-2 at home. Okay, as I record this, and they're really good on the road too. They've only lost 6 games this season, and they are playing well. Richard Jefferson is playing well in this system now. He knows the offense, and everybody knows their role, and they are a complete team. And when I say team, they don't care about stats. They don't care who scores. All they care about is the W. And when you sit down players like Tim Duncan on a back-to-back game, and Tony Parker decides to hand the reins over to Hill for the night, and then Gary Neal comes out of nowhere, steps up and plays well. I mean, this team is going to be hard to deal with, and it would not be surprising me if they win the championship. But there's a lot of basketball left to be played. We'll see. But if they stay healthy, you better watch out for the San Antonio Spurs. All right, guys, that's my power rankings. Let me know what you guys think. What your opinions are, and what are your power rankings? Leave them in the comments below. Let me know, 30 to 1 or 1 to 30, what your power rankings are. Tell me what you agree with, what you disagree with. If there's any particular questions that you have, leave them in the inbox or in the comments. If there's any videos that you would like me to do, let me know. I can't wait for the second half of the season to start. I'll be doing some videos, probably like I said about Blake Griffin, talking about some Kevin Love, and then obviously the All-Star Weekend is going to be coming up here soon. So we'll see what happens with that. So it's going to be fun, guys. It's going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see what happens in the second half. Take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you soon. And don't forget, if you can believe it, you can do it. Thanks for watching. You guys know I appreciate it. And remember, folks, always, always treat people how you want to be treated, and everything will be okay. This is NBA Jerry, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.